from that date that there will be a national convention. They agreed on that date that the national convention will be in November. They agreed that the venue of the national convention will be in Oyo State. So
was INEC at that meeting?
Yes, INEC was there.
All right, so that makes it
that makes it binding. It's legal. That's why I say Wike can only go to court now. So from that communique, which was issued, which INEC was part of, because they have to honor that, we can now discover that he has been pushed to a corner, because you can't tell now. At first, they protested that the venue of the convention cannot be in Ibadan.
Exactly.
That was where they started from.
Yes.
But they have already communicated. INEC was part of the decision, so they cannot say we were not there. So that the only option Wike has now is to go and get a judgment from court or whatever, another from court, stopping the convention.
But do you see a possibility of that?
It's very, very possible in Nigeria. I saw Rufai Hussaini writing something yesterday that the case they took to court against the, how do you call it, the emergency rule in Rivers State. They've not heard it. And then the local government case, election case they took to court, they have dealt with it, dismissed it up now already. So that is the Nigerian judiciary, where we feel Wike is a very serious shareholder per se. And so anything can happen. I don't know what will happen. I don't want to preempt them. But of course, the judiciary it's a duty to watch against Wike this time, because everybody can see what is happening. Atiku has left the party for them. It's left for them to make sure that they do what is right within the PDP. And I believe there are still personalities there that can still make the PDP work. For instance, if you grant a Wike's wish for the chairmanship to remain in North Central, I know he will want my former boss, Dr. Samuel Otom, to become the national chairman. So everybody sees that handwriting on the wall.
And Otom was there in the meeting.
He was even the one that read the communique to the press.
He was.
Unfortunately, if you love the PDP and the chairmanship is coming to North Central, maybe Bukola Saraki will be the best person for that position. He has been neutral. He has been the chairman of the Reconciliation Committee, and I think he has done a great job. But Wike is not looking at that direction. They want to own the PDP and own it 100% so that they can use it to negotiate with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027, because they don't want to field a presidential candidate.
That's just what I was going to ask you. What exactly is Wike hoping to achieve with all the, ruffling of feathers and being the table shaker? What exactly is his aim?
Well, he's just there to scatter the party. That's just it. He's just trying to make sure that Tinubu has no opponent from the PDP angle in 2027. I think because Wike talks so much about being a presidential candidate and all of that, and the PDP has zoned the presidential ticket to the southern part of the country. That should have been an opportunity for him to go and contest now and show whatever he wants to.
But he will not do that, would he?
No, all this why he wants to be minister, because all the bitterness that he used to destabilize the party was because he was not offered the VP ticket. Not even the presidential ticket, the VP ticket.
So what do you say about the rumor of being filled right now that either an Obi factor or a Jonathan factor coming back to contest on that? I mean, do you also see that rattling him?
Well, I don't see any of them coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see any of them coming back. I don't think they have the support base. I don't think it will work.
Support base in PDP or support base in the nation?
The national support base. You need the stakeholders. You need the stakeholders. And if anybody deceives you to go there, of course, you know that you can just go there and then you meet a brick wall, because they could also decide not to even give you the ticket. Because imagine a situation, some people are saying they want Jonathan to come back so that Bala Mohammed can deputize him. Okay? Yeah. Some people are saying Obi should come back and Rufai should deputize him and all of that. We saw them in one church in Imo State on Saturday. Okay? And all of that. So all those things, they are not workable at the moment. I believe anybody that wants to contest presidential election in Nigeria, like I keep telling people in my small Benue, you don't go and ask somebody to contest election. Anybody that wants to contest election, that feel he knows how to win election, should come out and contest election.
It's not possible in Nigeria, sir.
No,
with all due respect. I mean, because at the end of the day, if somebody feels...
Nobody told Tinubu to come and contest election.
Nobody told, but I
nobody
mean...
told Buhari to come and contest election.
A party would willingly go and lobby somebody to come to their platform
they are just deceiving them. They just want to collect their money.
Why do you think Jonathan does not have the support base. He's been president before. He has won an election.
He has been president over 12 years. By the 2027, that would have been over 12 years. By 12.
And Obi contested in 2023, and he made a very meaningful impact.
Yes. Well, I don't see the Obi scenario repeating itself again. Okay, Obi was an accident. He could have won. We've seen the accidental candidates of Labour Party who have assumed positions in several seats, most especially legislative seats, and they have not fared better. They have not shown the character that the youths want from the Labour Party. So Obi was an accident. He has a cult followership, no doubt about that. But some of the circumstances, the church, and all of that contributed what he did in 2023, that is not there again. Of course, don't forget that in 2023, there was this fear of the Muslim ticket. Tinubu is there now on the seats. Nobody can exercise that fear or campaign based on that a Muslim ticket is going to imprison Christians or whatever again. So those are factors that were peculiar to 2023 general election. If you ask me now, I can tell you again that one factor that will determine 2027 election is the northern factor. The factor in 2023 was Muslim tickets. So they were able to woo the northern populace against their own candidates because the PDP had an Atiku Abubakar who was a northern candidate.
Yeah.
Now they are disenchanted with the Tinubu government. They feel that they have been left behind. Not necessarily that Tinubu has marginalized any particular section of the country because we are all in this pain together. And the same way the North are feeling it, the same way they are feeling it in the South, the East, and every part of the country. But of course, the messages that they took to the North in 2023 cannot sell in the North in 2027 again. And because of that, those factors that helped Peter Obi in 2023, maybe they might not be there in 2027. I don't see it happening. I don't see those things coming to be in his favor again. The only thing you can tell me is that the Southeast have never been president of Nigeria, and we need someone from the Southeast to be president. I saw a post from Shehu Sani recently, and he made a lot of sense, and I think it pricks our conscience. He said before Obi, Rochas Okorocha has been helping the North since ages.
Honestly, yeah.
And I agree with him completely. Can you imagine nobody is talking about Rochas Okorocha? Regardless what happened in Imo State, I think he has been a very wonderful human being before.
With those schools, tuition-free schools in the North.
You know all those things he was doing. Yes. Has a very mighty school in Jos. Yeah, everywhere. Rochas Okorocha was there before he ventured into politics. So if you are even talking of an Igbo man that loves the North, maybe you talk about Rochas. All these ones are probably rhetorics that go somewhere. And
Rochas has lost political relevance as it is right now.
You can't say. It's the support base that matters. It's what the people want. If they go and dust an ant from somewhere and tell you he's an elephant, then so be it. And that's the support I'm telling you. What
Ohaneze said that Dave Umahi, I mean, I feel that's very political, but, they said that no Igbo man will contest and all of that, even though another faction came out to say, well, every Igbo man is at liberty if they want to contest and all of that. But let's
every Nigerian, including you and I, are at liberty to contest. That does not mean victory is guaranteed.
Yes.
But everybody is at liberty to contest in 2026.
Indeed, I totally agree with you. Let's look at the issue of, all of this are mixed up with the coalition right now as it is, ADC. Obi, right now, I know he has not made any statement about leaving LP. And that he actually came out and said Obi is still a part of LP. He's still his boss. And nothing can break their bonds and stuff like that. But we've seen this hobnobbing of El-Rufai, somebody that was very anti-Obi. All of a sudden, they seem to be two lovebirds right now. He seems to be walking, with Obi and all of that. I think the guy, what's his name, that contested for Lagos governorship,
Viva Rose,
has now officially moved to ADC. Who is the other person too? El-Rufai, when Shehu was interviewing recently, was being a bit controversial about his membership of the SDP and the ADC. Going by what happened in Kaduna, that there was supposed to be the inauguration there and then the thugs this thing. So are you a member of SDP? Are you a member of
before
ADC?
then, a report came out that they have collapsed the structure of SDP into ADC.
But he was claiming in that interview that he is still a member of the SDP. That's what he was saying.
Well, probably the processes have not been formalized. Okay, and like you said, the ADC up till now they've not regularized their processes also with INEC. I read yesterday when I think Punch or Guardian tried to ask INEC why they are not recognizing David Mark as the national chairman of the ADC, and the media aide to the national chairman of the commission said they came to visit them and they told them what they need to do. That if they have any question, they should ask Bolaji Abdullahi, who is the publicity secretary or the spokesman of the ADC. And when they asked Bolaji Abdullahi, he also agreed that it's a process. I think for somebody to be recognized as the national chairman and all of that, they talked about specimen of signature, passports and all of that, which they needed to forward to the INEC, which they have not yet done.
All right. So let's quickly take this commercial and continue with our conversation. Don't go anywhere.
After this.
If the world was ending,
Hi everyone, my name is Swat. That's the name my father gave me, but you can always call me Her Vocal Majesty. I'm the host of The Sunny Side on 95.1 Nigeria Info. It takes place every weekday, noon to 3 p.m., where we get to have all the lovely contemporary conversations. If your days are normally long and gloomy, well, not anymore, because I'm here to make it all bright and sunny for you. So join me. It's an invitation. You don't want to miss out.
All right. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm still with Mr. Cletus Agada, who is giving us his own thoughts and sharing his comments on developments in the PDP as they have already chosen a date venue for the convention. But the Wike factor is still there, or the Wike faction has come out to give their own counter, what do you call it now, condition for that convention, even though the PDP probably outsmarted him. Now, would he use the court as a stooge, as we have many people are of the opinion that he has the courts in his hands? Well, and then also issue of the ADC, which you're commenting, the El-Rufai factor and David
Yes,
Mark
don't also forget that all the interest in the ADC, they all have their ambitions. In as much as El-Rufai might want to get Tinubu out of office and feel that probably Atiku Abubakar might do it better, he might also want to deputize a southern presidential candidate. And you can see the way he's following Obi up and down. I saw him looking very cute like a church boy in Imo State over the weekend. So we have those interests, and people are looking, there are permutations and all of that, looking for an opportunity to see where you can come in as a person. Before you talk of the larger interest of your colleagues and all of that. So those factors is making El-Rufai to still hold on to SDP. You also know that Obi has not left Labour Party completely. He is also saying he's in Labour Party, even though he attends all the meetings of ADC and all of that. So I think there is still time. Between now and December, we were thinking that there will be an amendment to the Electoral Act before now, up to now, we have a set of leaders at the National Assembly that are not very sure of what they are doing. You saw.
They probably don't want to make a mistake again.
No, it's not a question. Are they even doing anything? The National Assembly, the Senate, you saw the process that led to the Senate going on recess that caused a crisis between the majority leader or the House leader of the Senate and the Senate president, because the leader was not aware that the Senate president was going to declare a vacation that day. And as he emphasized, he said they have not met the 180 days that the Constitution prescribed that they must do in the legislative section before they go on such a recess. But of course, the Senate president prevailed after they had an executive section.
Yeah.
There are serious national issues to address. They decide to abandon it and stay on recess, and they are not coming back until 23rd, which is still like 2 weeks from tomorrow, I think. So you can see that we are not even expecting to have an amended electoral act between now and then. I don't see it happening and all of that. So working with what we have now, between March, April, May, we should go into primary elections. And before then, I'm sure all these other permutations and agitations would have been taken care of already. But for now, we have to do with what we have, make do with what we have. And I think that is where everybody is running up and down to see where they can have a structure that they can run on if need be at the right time.
Okay, so looking at the ADC, I still want us to touch a bit on ADC, right? With the way they are going, right, this coalition and the strong statement being made by different stakeholders who have decided to pitch their tent with ADC one way or the other. Do you think that is the party to watch out for?
Yes, they are. They are not necessarily ADC, because with the crisis here and there, they might still move somewhere else. They try to register a party ADA or something like that.
Okay.
Those documents are still with INEC. So if it comes to a point that probably they cannot have their way in the ADC, they won't mind going somewhere where they will have a better understanding with the existing leadership. Even though it's only one man in the past ADC that is like an opposition to the taking over of the structure. If not the other persons, it's one vice chairman from the north who contested governorship of Adama, also Abi Gombe, and lost, that is claiming to be the national chairman now. But in any case, even if he is to become the national chairman, he doesn't have majority of his ESCOs with him. Because if you call a meeting today and those ESCOs come, they will still remove him in their numbers. The law allows for that. So if he even claimed to be the national chairman, all he needs to do is to call a NEC meeting. He is not even the chairman. If the chairman is there, Unwosu, and the secretary and the son inform INEC, which they did, because at the venue that they resigned and asked David Mark and Aregbesola to take over, INEC were also at that meeting.
Okay.
So they met that is why the new leadership led by David Mark can go to INEC office to ask, what do we need to do? Because INEC is aware of what transpired. So if this northern guy say he is the chairman, if he calls a meeting, even by numbers, they will still beat him, because majority of the old ESCO of the ADC are in agreement with the taking over, which has successfully happened. So they are the people to watch out for. Wherever they go, definitely they will whip up a lot of sentiment. And the reality we are seeing is there. The economy is still not very healthy. We expect more from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I don't know how serious it takes the suffering of Nigerians. What we end now, yesterday, the NLC said they are no longer comfortable with the 70,000 naira minimum wage, that it should be reviewed, because what they are paying now definitely cannot take anybody home. Nobody can live on 70,000 naira in Nigeria today. And they told us that with the Dangote refinery or local production, pump price of petroleum product will come down. We've not seen that. And they are also introducing a 5% surcharge on what they now call tax on petroleum consumption that they say will take effect from 2026. So you see all those variables coming to play in the election. I think those are the real reasons, the real things that Tinubu should be worried about, and not the APC, the Labour Party, the ADC, and all of that. And then don't forget, there are people who are in the APC today that will still join the ADC or the one, because the APC is too small to contain everybody going there now.
But recently we saw the CPC guys, the ones who came from Buhari, lending their support to Tinubu, making a very loud statement.
It's
saying
not
that
100% because I'm sure you saw Loretta Onoche led a delegation to go and pay a courtesy visit to Malami in Kebbi State also.
Yes, and Malami is also not.
And they say they call themselves the CPC faction.
Oh, yeah.
So the CPC faction has been divided into two because Tankwa Makura is leading a faction, and he has been given a juicy appointment, a board chairmanship position where he can take care of his interests. And there are other people that have been left alone to lick their wounds, and they are trying to fight back. So it's not 100% anywhere, and that is what a coalition is all about. You gather a faction from here, a faction from there, and everybody comes together, and that will be the headache of the APC in 2027. They shouldn't take anybody for granted, but beyond that, they must not take the economy for granted because it's going to be a very major factor in the decisions of the average Nigerian when they go out to vote, except if they don't want to conduct an election.
Part of what Tinubu told the CPC faction when they came was something that related to the economy. He was actually very proud of himself and the fact that he's changing Nigeria for good, in the sense that no more borrowing to a certain extent, in the sense that the revenue, what was that statement he made? They will not borrow, though. That's what he said.
They keep borrowing.
Yeah.
They keep borrowing.
But you remember what he said, right?
Yes, he said they have met the revenue targets.
Revenue targets, yes, exactly.
They have met the revenue target for the year.
Already.
And all of that. But there is another proposal before the National Assembly for a new borrowing. So I don't think the president is being honest. Fairly to him, I'm one of those who believe that the system of economy that he practices now is better than what we had in the past.
Okay.
I think we should pay tax. We should also make sure that we are less extravagant because we are not a rich country. We are a wealthy nation. Some of the things that we have, the natural resources and all of that, we've not been able to convert them into real physical resources that we can. We have fertile land for agriculture that anybody will be proud of. But are we farming? Do we have the technology to farm? The farm produce that we are bringing out, what are we doing with them? Go to Benue now, you see oranges spoiling everywhere on the road. Those are things that somebody labored for that. If someone is getting what he's supposed to earn from it, he should be able to take good care of his family, send his children to school and all of that. Those are the challenges. People are farming cassava, farming yam and all of that, and then you are not even adding value to them. You go and sell them raw in the market. There is no processing and all of that. We have textile factory. I remember when we were young, we used to go to the northern state, Kano, Kaduna, to go and visit our uncles during holiday when the textile industries were working. I remember the integrated fibers and all of that in Kano in those days. Today, none of them is functional again. The wool industry, the cotton plantations are no longer there. So all those things are things that could have provided jobs, that could have helped the economy. We keep importing, we keep consuming what we import from foreign countries and all of that. Those things will help the economy. And I don't think the president is putting so much effort in that direction. All they are doing is tax, and more tax. And it's impoverishing the people because the people are getting poorer. The people cannot pay transportation from one end to the other to go and hustle again. Even if it's daily pay that you go and do somewhere, the laborers that go to site to work, how much do they pay them? 7,000 a day, 5,000 a day. If you transport from your location, because where you are sleeping, that is not where the job is. So you have to go from one end to the other. If you take bike alone to the bus stop, you would have spent like 10% of how much you are going to earn that day. Then you enter transport take 50%, not feeding here. You end up getting home with nothing. So that is the challenge that people are facing, and that is the direction the president should be looking at. That is what Wike should help him do, not necessarily fighting people, fighting political parties and trying to destabilize everyone in every direction.
All right, let's talk about the Atiku factor, right? How does that come in handy for probably the ADC or opposition in 2027? Since you said it will be determined by the North, and Atiku is a northerner. He has to a great extent a large following, and well, he has the camp from PDP saying, well, I would want, making a statement, and he has already come out through his aide to say, well, I'm contesting for 2027. So how would that pan out?
Well, He has said he's contesting for 2027. Buhari kept contesting until he became president one day. And so we never know what God has for him. In fairness to the man, I think he's with the way Tinubu has disappointed us in terms of his democratic credentials. I think Atiku is the most living Democrat in Nigeria today. We saw all the fights he went through under President Olusegun Obasanjo as VP. He kept faith with the judiciary, and they keep seeing him through. And right now, he has gently left the PDP for them. He's going to try to build a new structure. He has left with his people, those he believed are his core supporters, and they are trying to add more people. And I am sure in the coming days, when the electioneering campaign gears up, we are going to see the stuff he's made of. Of course, after contesting election for several years, you can see that his purse is now depleted. He might not have the kind of resources he had in 2010, in 2014, and all of that in the run-up to the 2027 election. So, but again, he has built name. He has built friendship. He has kept faith with some people, and even some of the people with Tinubu today, if they have a fallout, the easiest place for them to go is Atiku, because they've worked with him in one way or the other, including Tinubu himself. So Atiku is not a stranger to them. And so President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has every reason to be careful or to be scared of Atiku's ambition, because the most potent political opponent in Nigeria today is Atiku Abubakar.
Anyways, I think that would be, how do I call it now? Because Buhari just left and Tinubu came. And if Atiku should feel himself, I don't know how that will work. The North has been very vocal about their dissatisfaction, but many people have also questioned the rationale behind the North coming and trying to say, well, they're not going to support him. And is it that, anybody's looking forward to a Northern candidate? I know it's not a constitutional matter, but morally speaking and otherwise, would it be fair that you have a Northerner, come up again?
Well, President Olusegun Obasanjo was there for 8 years. Then Yaradua came, and Yaradua died, and Jonathan took over. Yaradua didn't even do 4 years.
So that would
Jonathan is from the South. He took over, he did 13 months for, the Jonathan era. The Yaradua era. And then contested and continued. If you look at it in that direction, from that angle, you can see that since 1999, when democracy came, President Olusegun Obasanjo did 8 years. Jonathan did 5 years. That makes it 13 years. If Tinubu does another 4 years, that would have been 17 years out of probably 28 years. Okay, so you are now left with 12 for the North. That is the 8 years that Buhari did, and another 4 years that Yaradua did. So, give and take, anybody can win the election. And as it is right now, nobody wants to know who is the president as long as the economy is stronger. Okay? Right now, everybody is threatening strike up and down. NUPEG said they are starting a strike today. ASU is warming up for strike. Health workers and all of that. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is from the trenches, and he knows this thing. And instead of him to make sure that he give assurance to his colleagues or his fellow comrades that he left behind, all he's trying to do is to use his influence to muzzle them. That is not progress. That if somebody is hungry and you stop him from talking, that doesn't mean you have solved the problem of hunger. If they are still killing, Boko Haram is still killing people and it's not being reported in the media, that does not mean you have solved the security crisis. And I think that is what the government is doing. Last week, there was this report of a killing in Borno. Nobody is even saying anything about it. Yeah. So we are at a point where it seems as if everything is well, but nothing is well. Because people are afraid to travel on the highways. The roads are still as bad as ever. 2 weeks ago or so, they had a meeting, one of the Federal Executive Council meeting. They resolved that there's this Otukpo-Weto road that we used to take to Benue, that they said they were going to rehabilitate it. And what was their reason for the proposed rehabilitation? Because they anticipate there will be flooding in Lokoja and that road will be blocked. So they want to create an alternative route to Abuja. Now, that road has been going very bad. If you pass it today, you are coming tomorrow, you see more development on the road. And nobody cares. The road is in tatters. They will just construct road. Within 2 years, is damaged. We cannot continue like that. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not added a single rail line to our rail transport since he came on board. Most of the goods being moved by trailers on the road, accident everywhere. Even this morning, as I came to the city, I was just seeing, I think in Punch newspaper, that a trailer fell on Kuba Express.
Charlie Boy.
Yes, along the Kuba Express.
Yes,
road.
along the Kuba Express.
Some of the
road.
things that we are carrying on trailers, far distances, perishable goods. They are not supposed to be on the road. If you carry yam from Benue today and you want it in Lagos in the evening by rail, it should be there. If you carry vegetable from Kano today and you want it in Port Harcourt in the evening by rail, it should be there. But then you put them inside 911, inside trailers, and put 600 bags of Dangote cement in a trailer on a road that there is no whatever, there is no way bridge. Okay, the standard of the road is poor, and then you load 600 bags of cement in a trailer to drive on the road. You come in the next day, the whole road is damaged. The impact on the road, nobody considers that, and then we keep repairing this road, I don't even know if FEMA exists again because you don't see their signpost on the road again. And then we waste our resources year in, year out. The road they repaired yesterday, you come today, you will see right here inside Abuja, immediately after Abacha Barracks, there is a spot there. That spot, I'm sure they've repaired that spot like 3 times every year. And you wonder in the FCT immediately.
There's one in front of Atiku self, as in there used to be this spot. Today, when we pass, I saw that thing. It has come back again. I'm like, God.
You can see that is the ATM of one director because they just go and do shabby job so that they can award another contract and go there again, award another contract and go there again, and somebody is making money from it, and nobody is questioning it, nobody is flagging it, nobody is saying, is that not the same spot you repaired 2 months ago or so? Why are you going back again? Because they are doing substandard jobs. Wow. And that is what they are using to kill the economy. And if they love it like that, I'm sure Nigerians might speak with their votes come 2027. But of course, we must have a viable electoral law and be guaranteed, because the tenure of the incumbent chairman of the INEC is supposed to expire.
In
and
October.
We don't know who is going to come in. October is just less than a few days away.
All right.
Few days away, so.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that some few days back. I really wonder what the plan is, but we know that he cannot go more than 2 tenures, so 5 years, right?
Yes, that's what the law says.
All right. Muhammad Mabukari said, in all what is happening in the PDP, I blame it on the National Working Committee of the party. The PDP's party supremacy is being weakened and strangled. A party that has structures and backed by men and women of charismatic ideology, allowing an individual to kill. Seems they are all scared of their lands and properties not to be revoked by the by SMO of the FCT. Abdul Ganiu Jimo on Facebook said, I don't know what Wike is still doing in the PDP. He has already destroyed the party. While Imam Musa Chori said, good afternoon. Thank you so much. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. You can just drop your messages either there or on our WhatsApp platform. Solomon Language said, good afternoon. Solomon Language watching live from Anangada, Gwagwalada Area Council. You are doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Let's take the calls now. If you have any comments, thoughts you want to share with us quickly, call 0700 951 0000 and 080 9597 4869. We're touching on the PDP, their convention plans ahead for 2027, and of course the resurgence of the Wike faction. We're asking how that will impact the PDP, and then also looking at other political developments in the country. Let's hear from this person. Hello.
Hello, Swat.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is CJ from Altavale.
Ige?
CJ from Altavale.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, the problem of PDP can never end. PDP have already stepped their leg in the justice. That is now PDP have already make. You don't tell me PDP enter the injustice.
Hello. Okay. Unfortunately, yeah. You can call us back. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Adelan Victor from Dusalaki.
All right.
I want to ask your guest in this two questions. Number one, Nigerians have tested PDP for 16 years. And to me, one of their bad legacies is the institutionalization of political corruptions, such as state capturing and over monetization of policies. That and therefore PDP did not give us a good political foundation. What they made down is what APC is following now. Now I want to ask your guest, what has PDP forgotten as a presidential villa that they say they want to come and take after 16 years? Then two, why is it difficult for PDP to expel Wike, who has been involved in anti-party, is the fact afraid of Wike Tabi? I don't know.
All right.
Just tell Nigerians now.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Adiola. I'm sure he's going to respond to that in a bit. Let's take this other call. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Swat.
Yes, sir.
Habakar calling from Google. I greet your guest, Mr. Agada. He has said a lot.
Good afternoon.
He has made very insightful contributions, nation-building contributions. Just last week, NMPP expelled a serving lawmaker, Abdul Mumini, from their party for anti-party activities. We are all looking towards the PDP. They should take the bull by the horn and expel all those who have been carrying out anti-party against their own party. This coming Ibadan convention should be showdown whether the party will be or it will not be. And for Mr. President to say the economy is stabilizing, how? Are they using abstract economic figure to measure the economy when people are contending with hunger, abject poverty? They are always upgrading the taxation laws that continue to impoverish Nigeria. It is a very difficult situation. We all look to ADC. If all the coalition opposition leaders would bury their individual ambition for nation building and come together and bring out formidable candidates. And
all right.
No matter of North or South, just as Mr. Agada rightly mentioned, it is about serving people, improving people's lives. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Malam Abubakar, for your contribution. Let me read some messages on WhatsApp as we continue. Joseph Sam on Airport Road said, good afternoon, SWAT. I think callers to this station need to understand that not all of us will see the same situation from the same perspective. The earlier we know this, the better for us in this country. Okay, thank you. The Patriot said, initially I thought your guest, being an interested party, would be biased, but he has discharged himself equitably. PDP has allowed herself to be held chokehold by one man for too long, openly playing anti-party, and yet won't let PDP be. Obi and not Jonathan remains their best bet for now. Deliverance is coming, says the Patriot. Josh Adnyanya said, good afternoon, SWAT. Your guest has said it all. Tinubu is using Wike to scatter PDP, but God will shame them all. I'm strongly behind El-Rufai and his team. Comrade Efodu said, crisis-prone politics in the country is inevitable. OBJ once described election in our country as do or die. Do or do issue, or is it do or die? I don't know what you said. Anyway, due to the strange nature of most of the societal system, especially politics, our political leaders are evolving into very strange, violent behaviors. In the pre-colonial Africa, leaders talked less but acted based on good points people made and on the accepted practices while running their communities. In my Igbo pre-colonial societies, leaders were not in the habit of shooting or fighting or trying to destroy others. But today, the process of selecting or electing our leaders are now warlike in nature. Yet, many of us still believe we are moving forward and that we are practicing democracy. I beg to disagree. We need to rejig the entire system and reconstruct it based on our core values for us to have societal growth and development. Thank you, Comrade Fodu. Tom from Guarimpa said, good afternoon, Swat, and our Sagalicious analyst, Mr. Agada. To me, PDP must stand again. The party needs to resist Wike's something politics. Kudos to your sound doctrine once again, but I defer to your analysis on the era that you are not seeing that accidental obedient movement of 2023 and 2027. I don't see that your blunt opinion standing, sir. I can categorically or emphatically tell you that Obi's accidental emergence in 2023 is still very much bubbling in 2027, whether PDP ticket or not. Thanks, says Tom. Banking will say to say, cuts many rich men in Nigeria come to the aid of Benue State to add value to their agricultural products to avoid wastage. That is the question Banking is asking this afternoon. Caller from Ipaja said, good afternoon, Swat. Your guest didn't hear the president right. He said he has met his revenue for the non-oil sector, and he said the country is not borrowing locally from the banks. The issue of the 5% petrol tax is an existing law before. Tinubu that was never implemented, and even now is not sacrosanct. Your guess assertion is very wrong. All right, I'm sure he'll respond in a bit. Israel said, did you bring a guest to analyze the real issues in politics, or one APC stooge to campaign for the ruling party? Well, that's your opinion. But do you people know that there are silent listeners who know these things better than some guests you bring? Rhodes Vivo is a loyalist of Peter Obi. He had watched the ex-Anambra State governor closely before making a final decision to join the ADC or coalition almost the same day Obi announced his break from public, suggesting a setting. Okay, let's quickly stop for this commercial.
Oh, you mean you're rhapsodic? RHAPSODIC.
There you go again. Always using.
This is Nigeria